Hey guys, Cool Creations here. Today I wanted to make a Yoshi. But not just any Yoshi. I wanted to make my Yoshi buff. To do that, however, we're going to have to get some clay. Oh, and some wire. Oh, and some wire cutters. Oh, and some tinfoil too. Okay, that's everything. Let's go. So this idea was actually a commission that I got from a friend of mine who loves Yoshi and wanted their very own buff figure. Now, I've never taken commission work before, but I recently stumbled on a lot of free time and decided to give it a shot. Now, once I've gotten the frame built up, it's time to flatten some clay through my pass roller to cover this bad boy. As in detail, I'll start with the pectoral, making sure they're nice and plump. Now, the main requirement that I was given for this Yoshi was to make him less lean and more of a thick, muscly boy. I'll give the Yoshi a strong gut, and to support that mass, some thick, strong legs. Now, we gotta make sure this Yoshi has his iconic shoes, or maybe that's just its feet. They do kind of hatch out with those on. Now, for some extra protection, we're gonna add a little shell and smooth it out before drilling some holes for the arms. To bulk all of the arm, I'm going to roll out some noodles of clay together and smooth them out until I get the desired shape. Honestly, I wish I could have done this in real life. After adding some backwards pecs, it is time to work on Yoshi's hands, which comprises of a few beans blended together and lined to separate where the fingies are before blending them in place. Now, it is time for the head, which starts with a small lumpy ball with a mouth. Then I will add Yoshi's big nose and tall eyes. I will poke some sockets into the eyes and nose before bulking up the neck. I will give the Yoshi little spikies that run down its neck. And now it is time to fill those sockets with some eyes. Now, I definitely should have baked the eyes before placing them in, but me being impatient, I kinda just threw them in. I think next time I definitely have to bake them before I decide to put them back into the sockets. I did also tell myself this last time I made a sculpture to pre-bake the eyes, but I seem to have thrown that note right into the trash. Let's hope I don't lose it this time. But maybe if I tell myself in the video, I will potentially remember. But with that out of the way and the sculpting done, it is time to start with the painting. Now, Yoshi is pretty easy to paint since he is mostly green. So I'm going to lather a light green base coat. This will allow me to add darker shades of green later. I will add some red to the shell and the back fins before moving on to the iconic boots, which will be getting a soda orange. Yoshi's belly and eyes will be getting a couple of coats of white. And going back to the bottom of the boots with what seems to be one coat of yellow. However, it's more like 7. Moving on to the eyes, I will take an extra fine brush so I can carefully take my shaking hands and paint the pupil. Once the eyes have gotten enough black, I'll give some color with some blue, trying my hardest to keep it semi-round and fix any imperfections with black afterwards. And now it's time for my favorite part, dry brushing. And finally, some UV resin to finish off the eyes. Now Yoshi's starting to look pretty good, but I think he needs a base. I'll start by taking some foam and cutting out a circle, and safely cutting it with my X-Acto knife. I'll start adding some texture by strategically cutting scraps off the base and bashing it with a rock for good measure. Afterwards, I will add my brown mixture, which comprises of brown paint, rocks, and Mod Podge. I'll add a few more coats of brown to the base and coat the rock black. This will allow me to get some nice shading. I will then add some gray to the rock and dry brush different shades of browns and greens to get me the desired earthy tone onto the base. I will lather some glue onto this section of the base to allow me to add some plants. This will add some character to the base. Last but not least, I decided to add Yoshi's iconic egg onto the base, using some whites and greens to get the polka dots. The only thing left to do now is place Yoshi onto his base, and with that said, it is time to go to the glamour shots. Thank you all for watching this video. This was a really fun sculpt to work on, and I appreciate everyone who checks on my art. Now, I'm thinking of starting a Patreon, since right now I'm not working at the moment, so income's kind of scarce. But I don't really want to ask people just to give me money. So if you guys have any suggestions on what I should put onto the Patreon, I'd very much appreciate it. Anyways, if you want to support me in any single way, even just leaving a comment and a like really helps out, like just for my mental steam. Well, at least for a hobby. Anyways, that's it for me, so thank you and have a great day, guys.